Welcome everyone to an exclusive interview featuring the esteemed members of Bayonne High School's boys volleyball team. Today, we have the privilege of gaining insights from head coach Longo, a guiding force behind the team's success, and captains Matthew Maselli and Lance Sanroque, amazing leaders on and off the court. Their dedication, passion, and leadership qualities have not only shaped the team's performance, but also inspired a culture of excellence within the Bayonne High School community. Let's delve into their experience, strategies, and perspectives that make them integral to the team's journey. Starting off with Coach Longo, can you share your journey in volleyball and how it led you to become the head coach at Bayonne High School?
Well, I've been doing the volleyball team since 1989. The boys started in 1989. The girls started in 1984. I'm not really a volleyball person. I am a basketball person. I've coached at Holy Family Academy for 35 years. But they wanted me to coach within the district. So by answering the assistant superintendent's question, he said, I'd like you to coach. We have a volleyball opening. Would you like to start the program? So that's how everything started. So that was a long time ago.
It's very interesting. What are the core values that you instill in your players both on and off the court?
Well, I want them to develop and to find not only volleyball players, but fine individuals, fine young men when they leave the program. So we're very disciplined. We're very, I feel that we're firm, but we're fair. And I want them to be competitive in the volleyball skills. And hopefully we're going to have a successful season because of that.
I hope so too. How do you balance the development of individual skills with team cohesion?
Well, you have to work on your basic skills right, first of all, and from basic skills, then you're developing the cohesiveness of a team. And I think this year, I like the cohesiveness that I see. Sometimes it's not always about the skill level, but it's about how they come together as a group. And I think this group they have the makings to come together as a group. So I'm really looking forward to the season with that.
That's good. So as team captains, what responsibilities do you have on and off the courts?
I think on court, it's a lot of making sure everyone's communicating. No one's putting their head down after they mess up, making sure everyone is uplifted with high spirits, and no one's really getting into their own head. And then off court, I would say kind of keeping that idea of discipline, making sure everyone's going to workouts, coming to practices, wearing the right shirts, dressing up on game day, and just being what we want to portray as a team, like a positive influence on the school.
Anything you have to say on that? No. Okay, so can either of you share a challenging situation that you faced as captains, and how did you resolve it?
I mean, for me, I didn't really have any problems because they didn't really cause any dramas with team members.
So there's no conflicts going on?
Yeah, no conflicts, actually. We're so cool. And
Okay, so then how do you communicate effectively with teammates to ensure everyone is on the same page during games and practices?
I think it's a lot about being open and honest, being able to take both praise and negative ideas. So if I mess up, I'm held accountable by my teammates, and I expect it to be the same way when someone else messes up. I'm able to say, hey, don't do that. And instead of causing a fight between the two and causing a drift, it makes us come closer and get better as a team together.
That's good. So it sounds like you guys have great communication.
We try.
So, Coach Longo, can you walk us through your typical training sessions and game preparation routines?
Sure. We start out all the time with a dynamic warm-up. Then we go into a stretch. We do a lot with blocking in the beginning, single blocks. We do swing blocks. And then we go into our approaches, which are very difficult for new players because they're learning to approach the ball and make the steps and the correct footwork. We also then go into passing, which is a major thing. 85% of the game of volleyball is passing. So you're using a forearm pass, or people might know it as a bump pass. And then you go into an overhead pass. An overhead is basically used by the setter or the libero, and it's taken obviously with the ball over your head. But the setter is basically your quarterback on a volleyball team. getting the ball to your hitters, which are your outside, your opposite, or your middle blockers and middle hitter, and getting the ball to them. So we work a lot with passing in the beginning. We do some two-touch drills, which are working and communicating on the floor and basically attacking on the second attempt, taking the ball over the net. And they swing at it, doing a roll shot or a tip or basically putting the ball down. The one thing that we also work on, which is the one thing in volleyball that you have full control of, is a serve. And it's like in basketball, taking a free throw, okay? It's the one thing you practice. You have full control of that because you are tossing it, you are making that contact. So it's all about you. So it's very important that in volleyball that you're able to serve the ball over the net. And we like them to serve aggressively so that the other team, it puts the other team in a bad situation because they really have to serve, they have to pass that hard-driven serve ball. And then we work on a lot with hitting. Hitting challenging, whether it's a roll shot or a hard-driven ball. And, you know, we work on that. We work on team chemistry with different drills that we do. We're working with a box drill where the libero has to set the ball to the opposite, or we serve right to the setter where they have to set the ball right to the outside hitter. So different team concept games and skills that we work to prepare us for our game situation.
It's amazing how much goes into all of this. Can you share examples of how you adapt your coaching style to the different players' personalities and skill levels?
Well, obviously, right here you have two different personalities, but his personality has been brought up because his father played for me back in the day, okay? So their personalities have to come together. We're, as I said before, I feel that we're firm with them, we're fair with them, but, you know, we're always on a positive, I try to be on a positive note and see the good in things that they do and bring that out of them. And they come together, basically, with their skills to be the individual and the players that they're becoming.
That sounds amazing. So for you two, how do you handle pressure situations during games and what techniques do you use to stay focused?
Oh, for me? Usually I would hit myself. Like, it's weird, right? It's like I would like try to be I try to be awake. I try to like distract myself. Instead of like, you know, getting scared, I would like hit myself and be like, yo, you're good, you're fine. Like, relax. I try to do that. It's like, you know, it's like a hobby. I've been doing it since like freshman year. So
now it's like just a
natural.
ritual.
It's like natural for me to do. So
Something similar. So sometimes when I serve, I'll like take a deep breath, close my eyes. Sometimes it does not work, but you know, I try my best to visualize the ball going over the net and just like moving on through the play. And even after I do mess up, I kind of try and move on from it and get it out of my head. You know, memory like a goldfish goes away after like a second.
Word. So what advice would you two give to younger players aspiring to become leaders in their own volleyball team?
I think the most important thing is to obviously be able to communicate with your teammates. You don't want to go to practice and be like a gray rain cloud that's kind of just all negativity. You have to be positive and make sure you're helping others, not just focusing on yourself. I feel like a lot of the job as a captain is bringing others up with you, because yeah, you can focus on yourself and play to your best ability, but the only way you're going to win in volleyball is when you're a one unit, 6 people together on a court. You can't do it alone because you can only touch the ball once each time it comes over. So I think the most important thing is for younger people looking to get into a leadership role is just to make sure that when you're at practice, you're helping others and not just negativity walking around.
Okay, so anything that you want to add on? Okay, he said it for you. So how do you guys handle setbacks or losses at a team? What steps do you guys take to bounce back stronger, all three of you?
I think if you learn something from losing, you become winners in the end. So if we lose a match, why did we lose the match? What weren't we doing? What do we need to work on? And we try to prepare and work on that to get better because of what happened in the loss. So I feel, you know, you learn from losing and you become better and you become winners in the end. So it's very positive, you know, a positive outlook on that.
I think I do agree with that, but personally, after losses, I sometimes take them a little hard. I get into my head, get upset, but my teammates do a good job of like pulling out like happiness out of me, making sure that I'm not getting too upset about it. And even though I am upset about it, I'm able to understand why it happened and hope that we can get better from it. And as was said earlier, that leads to wins. So take our mistakes, learn from them, and win after.
Yeah, for me, like usually after a loss, I would like want to talk to my teammates about it. Like we would watch like we would usually film it. Then we would talk it out like, oh, what we did wrong, what we need to improve. You know, it's like.
I think it's genuinely inspirational how you guys have a positive outlook even when you guys have losses. So can any of you guys share insight on the team bonding activities or rituals that have helped strengthen your guys' team chemistry?
I think a lot of it is just like us being friends outside of the sport as well. Like after practice we'll go get food, things like that, or even on like bus rides. My first year, my sophomore year, every bus ride they would bring a speaker, the seniors would bring a speaker, and everybody would sing. We would listen to like different music that it ranged from like rap music to early 2000s like pop music and stuff like that, and we would all just sing and it was a good time. So I feel like we've built a really strong bond. I only started my sophomore year, but it feels like I've known the guys on the team for like my whole life, and I feel like we're a real family, like a unit.
That's amazing. So for Coach Longo, how do you collaborate with other coaches and staff members to ensure the overall success of the volleyball's program?
Well, I think the coaches that are in the school, like we kind of work together. If we see a player that maybe can be, you know, with football or basketball or tennis, or we try to help each other out. You know, we're together in this building working for the benefit of Bayonne High School. So I think we're encouraging and we're supportive of other teams when they participate. So, you know, if you see somebody and you like them and you think they're an athlete, they have some athletic ability, I think you have to move them on. And, you know, I also look in my classes to see if I have anybody that might be athletic that would be able to join our program. So that would be a good thing.
Yeah, that sounds very nice that you guys, you know, help each other out finding new students. That also helps the kids. So what role do parents and the community play in supporting the team, and how do you engage them effectively?
We have some, just from the players that we're not really, I'm going to say we're not really big with parents coming in and helping out, but we do have a few that have been very, very supportive. And they've watched their sons or daughters play through the years, and they follow them wherever we go. They've been supportive. Like our senior night has been basically controlled by the parents, and they provide. We do a big thing with food and things for the players, and the parents are very much involved with it. So it's a fun thing. But the parents do get involved, and they're supportive of us, positive, in good ways. We communicate with them if there's a problem with a son, or, you know, we obviously, and they're not happy about that when it's like, well, I'll like to talk to your parents, you know. But
that's good that you can have that relationship with the parents. Yes. What do you believe sets Bayonne High School's boys volleyball program apart from others?
What do I believe? Why? How is it apart from others?
Like what might make you guys better than others, or just different from other teams?
Well, I think we're different than other teams. I think just the cohesiveness that they have. The boys volleyball team has an all-female staff, and it's all former players of mine are my assistant coaches. You have Miss Fidrich, Miss Gordon, and Miss Mahan, who have all played within this program here and come through the program. And they are an integral part of the development of these players with their skills and just team chemistry and things like that. So, you know, and we've built it, I built it from the ground up. I can tell you the beginning years when we were 2-18 and we took a ride down to one of the powerhouses, and we were lucky we got a a block, you know, against the team, and then things changed.
Got to start from somewhere.
Yeah, so you're right, you have to start somewhere.
So for you two, how do you guys stay physically and mentally prepared for the demands of competitive volleyball throughout the season?
I think a lot of our stretching that we do at the beginning of practices, it helps with injury prevention, things like that. Also outside of that, I don't know why, but every single year my legs, as soon as trials start killing me every single year. So I try to make sure to ice them or get like different forms of stretches and things like that, use a foam roller. And mentally, I've really dove into like the mindset of a volleyball player or even an athlete in general. And I've read some books that kind of helped me get out of my own head, because I used to get really, really bad. After I would mess up, I would start to spiral, but I feel like now I've gotten that a little more under control, and I'm able to, you know, like I said earlier, have a memory like a goldfish and kind of forget my mistakes and just move past them after I've learned and understood what I did wrong.
Well, that's good. I'm proud of you for that. Anything you want to add?
So yeah, especially with like after practice, you always have to stretch, because you know you gotta avoid injuries. You gotta stay healthy, eat food like healthy food. Usually, for me, I chug like a whole gallon of milk all the time. I have
Is it true that that keeps the bone strong?
Yeah, protein shakes, bananas to avoid cramps, you know, and yeah.
Okay, that's good. Can either of you guys discuss the importance of teamwork and collaboration in order to achieve success on the volleyball court?
I think it's important to, instead of playing as 6 individuals on a court, we're playing as one team, if that makes sense. So somebody messes up, you pick them up. You don't say you're horrible, you don't play anymore, things like that. You kind of give them words of inspiration and kind of say, hey, you're good, everybody messes up, things like that, and just help them move through mistakes. And we're also able to hold each other accountable, which I think is really important, especially in volleyball.
That's good, with no hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings, no hard feelings.
So what strategies do you guys use to maintain such a positive mindset and keep morale within the team? It's just communication?
I think there's a big focus on communication, especially since my sophomore year. But also, I think we understand that there's a bigger picture. Messing up one time in a single game, there's obviously many more plays in that one game, and also you have a whole season to get better. If you see our first game of the year and our last game of the year, it looks like 2 different teams every single year. So I think it's just being able to put it into perspective and understanding that there sometimes might be growing pains. Like last year, it was a lot of our players' first years playing varsity, so it was kind of a learning experience, some of the games, and building that communication to now, it's like night and day. Like I feel like we've improved a lot over the past year.
That sounds good. So for all 3 of you guys, what legacy do you guys hope as captains and as the coach for the volleyball team to leave behind?
Well, I don't know. I'm not ready to go. When I'm ready to go, I hope there's someone one of my assistants will step in and take over the program and develop it even further than I've developed it, you know. I mean, I've taken it from the ground up to where it is right now. This is the 36th year with the boys. So it's a long time. I think they call me the dinosaur here of the coaches. So I've been here, you know, I'm new here, so you know, we've developed and we've come a long way from those beginning days when we were 2-18, and we're not that anymore. We've been ranked in the state. We've won in 2012 and 2018 state sectional titles. We've won numerous county championships. So we have some big goals this year. Our schedule is very intense. We're playing some very, very competitive teams that are ranked within the state of New Jersey. So hopefully we will succeed and become ranked also. And you know, we're looking basically right now for a county championship first, a league, county, and then another state sectional with this group. I think I love the chemistry that we have. We have a really good group of young men, And it's just now putting the pieces together. You know, who's playing where, what are we doing, and coming together basically as a group.
Yeah, the chemistry you guys have genuinely sounds inspirational. Is there anything that you two want to add on to that?
I think I obviously do want to win a county championship before I leave. League, county, state would be absolutely great, but you know, that's a long road journey ahead of us. But I also want to leave behind the communication and kind of team bond that we have. So I'm trying to get the juniors and sophomores to start talking, you know, pick up more leadership roles, things like that. Like during our dynamic warm-ups, I'll call out a few like random people and names just to make them lead the stretches sometimes on their own, just to kind of develop that leadership that, you know, once me and Lance are gone, it might be lacking, but I'm trying to leave that behind and make sure that there's always a sense of leadership on the team.
That's good. Any final words?
I mean,
let's win a county championship. That's about it.
Okay, so as we conclude this insightful interview with head coach Longo and captains Matthew Maselli and Lance Sandroke, we are reminded of the dedication and passion that drives Bayonne High School's boys volleyball team to greatness. Their shared experiences, leadership, insights, and commitment to excellence serve as a beacon of inspiration for aspiring athletes and coaches alike. We extend our best wishes to the team and continue success on the court and beyond, knowing that under such capable leadership, their future endeavors are bound to be filled with triumphs. Thank you to Coach Longo and the captains for sharing their time and wisdom with us today. Good night, Bayonne, and until next time, go Bees.